Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
A shooting on the northeast side leaving a 4-year-old child dead. And right now we're talking with the neighbors in the area. We'll have that for you tonight at 5 and 6. But this noon, we're going to take a very close look at new surveillance video released by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
Also, local researchers are leading a team looking into a new vaccine for chlamydia. We'll explain what makes it unique this noon.
All right, but first, another hot and humid day, and it's all going to change in just a few hours.
So, Mia, what's the changes look like?
Yeah, well, basically, the first thing you need to know is that it is going to be a very hot and humid afternoon. You can just kind of see more of that haziness, the humidity in place. We have seen, though, some sunshine return, and that is going to help temperatures crank up quite a bit over the next several hours. So it is going to be unseasonably hot. When you factor in the humidity, though, it makes it feel even hotter. Take a look at some of the current conditions outside if you're fixing to step out for any lunchtime plans. 87 already here in San Antonio, 88 degrees, up I-35 in New Braunfels, still 82 in Bernie. Cloud cover and some morning fog held on just a bit longer, but it is noticeably warmer up in Kerrville at 87. Now we're going to shoot for a forecast high in the low to mid 90s here officially in town, right around 94 degrees by about 4 to 5 p.m. But with all of that moisture in place, heat indices likely climbing and approaching to the triple-digit mark. So today is going to be a day to practice heat safety, stay hydrated if you are planning on being outside for extended periods of time. But we have more changes that move in tonight. A cold front is going to move in. An isolated strong storm possible before that boundary fully pushes through. But then this weekend, cooler and slightly drier air arrives behind that boundary. And we also will need to monitor for a chance of rain by Mother's Day. So we're going to time all of that out. Get you those details coming up later in the newscast.
This noon, a silver alert from the Houston area still active. The LaPorte Police Department is searching for an 84-year-old George Richardson. Authorities say he's 5'11", 185 pounds. He was wearing glasses, a short-sleeve button-up shirt, black pants, and black shoes. Richardson vanished Tuesday afternoon around 4 o'clock in LaPorte, which is on the coast east of Houston. He was driving a purple 2007 Ford Fusion with Texas license plate FGH8043. If you have any information, you're asked to call the number there on your screen. A shooting on the northeast side left a 4-year-old girl dead. This was on Windsor Hollow Drive, not far from Walsham Road, around 8 last night. 3 of the 5 shooting victims under the age of 10. And as we said, one of those children has died. The other victims are in the hospital right now. Now, we do have some video released by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. It's surveillance video. And as you can see, the car, a gray car, pulls up, and then right there you can see 2 men get out, and that's when all those shots are being fired right there. A flurry of bullets. Now, those 2 men eventually took off, and right now the hunt is on for them. BCSO is looking for both of those suspects as we speak.
We will, of course, have much more on that story coming up at 5 and 6 today. UT Health San Antonio leading the study for a first ever oral chlamydia vaccine. The $11 million study funded by an NIH grant. The CDC says chlamydia is the most reported sexually transmitted disease, affecting about 4 million people in the United States each year. UT Health says the infection is often left untreated due to the lack of specific symptoms. But untreated chlamydia infections can lead to severe complications, including pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, and ectopic pregnancy. After 3 years, Bexar County commissioners finally releasing the funds promised to SAM Ministries. It's to help provide housing for the unhoused in the community. The county only released half of the already approved $2 million. This week, $950,000 approved to begin the renovation of the Hudson Apartments on Blanco Road. In March, those apartments were damaged by a fire. SAM Ministries now working with the insurance company to repair the damaged units, and then additional county funding will then be released.
Today, you have one more chance to provide feedback to the City of San Antonio Charter Review Commission as it prepares to make its final recommendation to the City Council. The commission will host an opportunity for in-person public comment at 5:30 this evening at the Central Library on Soledad Street. You can sign up to speak in person before the session begins or leave a comment by calling the city. And we've got all that information on KSAT.com. We also have a list of all the items the commission is reviewing. It does include how much the mayor and city council members get paid.
And this place has been at the forefront of military medicine and, frankly, medicine in general for decades.
You can see it in the background, the demolition of that major military medical hub for the Air Force coming to an end. Wilford Hall Medical Center is no more.
Yeah, Tiffany Huertas takes a look at how this hospital and medical research center impacted our city and the innovations it created.
It's amazing to see that there is one operator and that one piece of equipment has done all the demolition of old Wilford Hall.
As the old Wilford Hall Medical Center at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland gets demolished, Frank Wilson remembers the moments he spent there.
When I was in the military, I was seen here, and also my son was born here in 2001. So he still is like, Dad, I can't believe you're tearing down the place where I was born.
Wilson is with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
We're kind of all sad to see it going because when you're in the military, everyone knows what Wilford Hall is.
His team has been working on this project since 2010.
Phases 1 through 3 built the new ambulatory surgical center. And this is phase 4, which is actually demolishing the old Wilford Hall.
Wilford Hall opened in 1957.
That's named Wilford Hall after Major General Dr. Wilford Hall, who was a pioneer in aeromedical evacuation.
It became a hub for research and innovation.
Ken Cooper was a flight surgeon here and studied aerobic conditioning while he was a flight surgeon here and working with the lab across town at the former Brooks Air Force Base in preparation for further aeromedical research that ultimately supported NASA and the NASA Mercury program from here.
Millions of people have been treated here.
You could name any number of 4-stars in the military that have been treated in this facility.
As the community says farewell to this building, the military is looking forward to the future.
This demolition is set to be completed by the end of next week, and the team here is looking at different options for this space. Reporting from Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
We want to bring you some late-breaking news. This is I-37 at Bronig Lake, and what you're looking at is some sort of a police investigation that's backing up traffic, it appears to be, for miles here on I-37. Again, this is at the flashing lights in the background. We're not sure what happened, but it appears to be some sort of police investigation.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on how it goes. Also, NBA MVP is a familiar name. We'll have that for you coming up in sports.
It's that time of year. San Antonio Parks and Recreation now looking for adults who want to join in the fun for its spring sports slam tournaments. It's specifically for basketball and volleyball teams. The free events give people an opportunity to build a team, showcase their athletic skills. Both tournaments are going to be held on May 18th. Only teams can register, and the registration, though, is going to close on May 16th. You can sign up by calling San Antonio Parks and Recs, or to go online. We have that information for you on our website, KSAT.com. Yeah.
Yep, it's right there.
Yeah. All right.
Spot cam. It looks like it could be a nice day.
It's the sun.
Yeah, it is the sun.
Wow, check that out.
We have the sun. We've had a very stubborn cloud cover in the mornings over the past several days, but this morning, a little bit of an exception. We were able to see that break up earlier, which is what's going to help temperatures climb. Maybe not the best day to go out and play sports in the peak heating time of the day. If so, just take the water bottle with you and take breaks, because yes, it is going to be hot and humid out there. The aquifer down 0.7 of a foot today at 637.5. The good news when it comes to the pollen count, much shorter list than yesterday. Mold's the only allergen present, and they are low. Plenty to talk about when it comes to the upcoming Mother's Day weekend. We're going to detail that for you after this.
Two things put a smile on our faces.
The stock market.
The stock market going up 200 points and SA Live.
Fiona.
Yeah.
And Jen.
Yes.
How about that?
Okay. So today, or recently, a record was broken for a, like an extreme experience. I don't want to give too much away. So that got us thinking.
Yes. What would you do if you could pick a Daredevil activity, or maybe you've already done something? I saw you, David. You went ziplining, didn't you? So
I did some ziplining. I also repelled from the Milam building.
I remember that.
Several years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah.
wow.
Daredevil Dave.
I know. There you go. Daredevil. What about you, Ursula?
Well, I on a daily basis, if I can, I practice the most dangerous sport in the world, polo, on horseback, which Jen is going to get a taste of soon.
There we go. We got a deep tease going here. Yes, we will.
So I know what Jen's Daredevil moment's going to be because it's about to happen.
Yes. So we want you to scan that QR code and let us know. And if you have a picture of an extreme or Daredevil thing that you've done, we'd love to see it on the show live here from Historic Market Square.
And you have some too. We're going to share those. Stick around.
Oh, I know Fiona is a Daredevil.
Fearless Fiona.
Yeah, Fiona's not.
Yeah,
Fiona's not.
she'll
I
do
got the pen.
anything. All right.
All right, Mia.
I've been invited to jump out of a plane, and I just think, why would you jump out of a perfectly good plane?
Good question. All of these great questions. I've never been skydiving before either. I don't know if I actually would do it.
Oh, I don't know if I could.
I'd like to think that I would, just to be like, yes, be spontaneous but I don't know that I could actually. I think someone would have to push me.
I got a call
I'd
from.
be too scared. I'd get there and I'm like, nope, I don't want to go.
Illegal.
I got a call from my daughter one day. What are you doing? I'm driving to this wide open field. There's a plane sitting there. Why are you doing that? I'm going to jump out. I went, well, call me when you get on the ground. Let me know how it goes.
I couldn't even imagine.
She was like 18 or 19 years old, skydiving. Like, you okay?
It's a little scary. So
I don't even like Ferris wheels, okay?
That's
Come
fair
on,
too.
really?
That's why I can't answer the question.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get scared whenever you're on a Ferris wheel and then it's really windy at the top and then the little.
And it stops?
Yes.
So people can get on
You're
at
just
the
like,
bottom?
what am I doing right now? What are we doing? Anyways, I'll tell you what we're doing in the weather department.
Okay.
We're going to see some changes over the next 24 hours. So today, as we were talking about earlier, heat and humidity. Those are the two big things that you need to know. Highs reaching for the low to mid 90s in San Antonio. There is a chance that we will need to monitor for an isolated strong storm this evening ahead of this next cool front moving in tonight. After that, cooler and slightly drier air moves in by Friday and into the start of the upcoming weekend. Notice your temperatures 10 degrees cooler tomorrow compared to what we are expected to find out there today. So let's time out all of those changes. Right now, 87 degrees here in San Antonio. We are warming up more efficiently than what we've seen over the past couple of days. A dew point of 73. So again, it is very, very muggy and sticky whenever you do step outside. For most of us, those dew points are in the 70s, very much in that oppressive category. And that is going to be the theme this afternoon. But notice here on your dew point trend, after that cool front moves in tonight, there's that slightly drier air on Friday, even more comfortable into Saturday. Enjoy that though, because by the back half of the weekend for your Mother's Day and into early next week, we will start to see a bit more of that moisture work back in. Until then, high temperatures today, again, low to mid 90s, feeling even hotter because of that humidity. If you're stepping out for any Thursday evening plans, just know that it is still going to be very warm. Thermometers gradually working through the 80s, especially after the sun goes down. Here's a look at the forecasted air temperatures in and around San Antonio later on today. Maybe some upper 80s out east, especially where the cloud cover has been a little bit more stubborn to break up so far today. But where we could see slightly drier air move in is out west and closer to the Rio Grande. When you combine that with the sunshine, high temperatures could reach the triple digits in a few spots. But here's the key. When you factor in all of that humidity, heat indices, what it feels like to your body when you step outside will likely reach the triple digits, or at least come pretty close to it near San Antonio. So just stay hydrated out there today. It is unseasonably warm, and we'll start to see those changes move in as we head into your Friday. Speaking of that, here's the setup. We've got that stalled boundary off to our north. Already some severe thunderstorms just west of DFW right now. Watch what happens here as we advance this on in time and we see this front start to work its way farther off to the south. We do have the potential to see an isolated strong storm develop by 8-9 p.m., moving closer to south central Texas by 10-11 o'clock. Coverage is going to be very low, but if we do find a storm develop, it could quickly become strong to severe. Better chances the farther north as well as east that you travel, but the latest outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center paints the highest severe weather risk off to our north for places like Waco, Temple, Austin, Bryan College Station, even Dallas-Fort Worth. If a severe storm does form, it would be capable mainly of hail as well as strong winds. So just know that, yes, while it's the exception rather than the rule for us here in San Antonio, we'll continue to keep you posted on your KSAT Weather Authority app this evening. Check out Behind the Front. Again, mid-80s tomorrow. How about near 80 degrees Saturday and into Sunday for your Mother's Day? Now, Mother's Day, we have a 40% chance for a few showers to a stray storm here and there. Not a washout by any means, but a good idea to keep the umbrella handy. Check back in over the next couple of days with just isolated chances into next week. We'll be right back.
It was really no surprise. Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic named the 2023-2024 NBA Most Valuable Player. There was some pretty good competition, though. Thunder star guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished second, and then the Mavs' Luka Doncic came in third. Now, this marks the Joker's third NBA MVP, tied in with Moses Malone, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. He is the 9th player to win 3 or more MVPs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar leads the way with 6. All right, so here's how they stacked up last night with a playoff game. It was the Knicks over the Pacers, 130-121, and the Knicks now lead that series 2-0. All right, while the playoffs continue, the Spurs are looking for some help to put around them, and especially put around Wemby so they can experience some of that postseason action next season. That means Sunday is a huge day. It is the NBA Draft Lottery at 3 o'clock. You'll be able to see it live right here on KSAT 12. Remember last year the ping pong balls bounced the Spurs' way, the winning combo of 14, 5, 8, and 2. And that was the number that they got, and that was the number 1 pick. So they took the obvious, Victor Wembanyama, number 1 overall. The Spurs' 3rd overall number 1 pick, along with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Now, the Spurs' odds are not quite as good this season to get that top pick, but they still have a double-digit chance. All right, so here's a look at the chances that they do have. Detroit and Washington and Charlotte, and then Portland and San Antonio. Detroit and Washington had 2 of the worst records in the NBA this year, so they have a 14% chance. That's the most you can have. And then Charlotte and Portland at 13%, and then San Antonio comes in at 10%. Hey, it was a tough loss for the San Antonio Brahmas against the D.C. Defenders, but they were all smiles at practice yesterday. That means they put it all behind them now, and they are focusing on their next game. The Brahmas are going to be heading to Houston this weekend to take on head coach Wade Phillips' former team, the Houston Roughnecks. Burning High alum and starting quarterback Quentin Dormady will look to keep the Brahmas in the hunt for the playoffs. And Dormady and Coach Phillips let us know just how special this upcoming game in Houston is going to be.
Going back to Houston, I mean, that's where I live. And so I got to be able to live there, so we need to win this game. So, and all our players know that, you know, this is, again, the most important game of the year.
Now they're going to run a lot of stuff defensively, so we got to be ready for it all. But really, we just got to go out and execute the plays that are called, and the rest will work itself out.
All right, another local quarterback seeing some practice action this week. Former Arizona quarterback Jaden DeLaura. He will be backing up Quentin Dormady along with Kevin Hogan when the Brahmas head to Houston this weekend. Hey, the Indiana Fever and San Antonio native Nalissa Smith have gotten a ton of attention this offseason after getting Caitlin Clark with the first pick of the WNBA draft. That's brought huge crowds as the Fever will play their final preseason game tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's where the Pacers play. Nalissa shared how the attention has challenged their defensive communication.
We just got to be more aggressive, you know, on the defensive end and offense. You know, we got to watch our pace a little bit and, you know, just get into stuff faster and, you know, call things out quicker because the crowd is going to be loud. So it's just going to be an adjustment for us. We're super excited, you know, just see all the fans come out. You know, it's been a lot of hype around our name. So just to see it come into fruition.
All right, for more information on Nalissa, just go over to our website, ksat.com. Hey, Major League Baseball, Rangers at the A's for an old-fashioned doubleheader. Oakland took the first game, 9-4. Game 2, top of the third, bases loaded. Jonah Heim hits it right back up the middle, good for a 2-run single. Rangers take the lead for good, 3-2. They go on to win it 12-11, nearly blowing a 5-run lead in the ninth, though. All right, Astros and the Yankees. Houston continues to struggle. Bottom of the third, Yankees leading 3-1. Aaron Judge at the plate. Gone. That's a solo shot to center. Soto, Judge, and Stanton all homered in the game for the first time. The Pinstripes win it 9-4, and that was Houston's 4th straight loss. In Texas League action, the Missions and Rough Riders. Missions win it 7-0. San Antonio now 14-14. And on the pitch, San Antonio FC lost on the road, taking on Indy tonight in the U.S. Open Cup round of 32. Indy 11 wins 2-0, eliminating SAFC from the U.S. Open Cup. They got some weird names like Indy 11. I don't,
Who was Indy 10?
I have no idea.
Okay, we'll find it.
Sorry, to look that up.
In the next half hour, the FDA could soon get more involved when it comes to the ingredients in baby food, why federal regulators are asking for more control.
And car seats may contain harmful substances. What new research is showing us coming up.
New today at 5 o'clock. Summer almost here. How's your lawn looking? Better be better, right? And you need to cut the grass. It's been raining. And that's been sparking some interest for a change from traditional gas mowers to an electric one. Consumer Reports comparing the different brands. We're going to tell you which ones will make the cut. Severe and ongoing. That's how a San Antonio councilwoman is describing the loose dog situation around the city. And some of her colleagues agree.
John Ball Barajas shows us what leaders want to do about that problem.
It was February of last year when 81-year-old Ramon Najera was attacked and killed by 3 loose dogs. Video of the attack was so gruesome, we're only showing you a few clips.
It's on us as pet owners to make our neighbors and our others and our citizens a safe environment to walk about in our community.
Ramon's son Raymond stood alongside another dog attack victim, Max de los Santos, who says a dog attacked him so severely he had both of his legs amputated. And that was just a few months after Najera's dad died.
If they want animals, there's fences and there's locks for the fences. If they want animals, keep them in their yard, locked up, but don't let them loose.
Both families are bonded through their trauma and now looking for change. They support District 7 City Councilwoman Marina Alderete Gavito's push for new policies.
We have a loose, dangerous dog crisis in San Antonio, and so we needed to address it.
Alderete Gavito explains that in 2019, an animal care services study documented that there were 34,000 loose dogs around the Alamo City at any given time. Of those, about 87 to 96% had owners.
Hit them in the checkbook. The city needs to make them accountable. Hit them where it hurts so they'll think twice.
And that's exactly what the councilwoman wants. Steeper fines for people with dogs that repeatedly get loose. She recommends people be fined $500 for a second offense, and after that, a minimum $750 fine. Alderete Gavito also wants ACS to spay and neuter dogs found roaming off their property before they return them to their owner, and the surgery would be at the cost of the owner. Lastly, the councilwoman wants people who report dangerous dogs to be able to remain anonymous.
You have a dangerous animal that can bite, that's aggressive, you're going to get, something that might come back on and bite you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Alderete Gavito submitted her proposal last week, now to likely make its way to a committee agenda where council members should discuss the measure within 60 days.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. We are still watching this backup, and we're being told that it was some sort of a police incident here that police were investigating, but it's caused a big backup at I-35 at Bronick Lake. So if you're heading into town on I-37 from Bronick Lake, this is what you're going to encounter. A lot of slow-moving traffic.
Yeah, and we can see that it's actually really hazy out there on live cam as well. That's something else that I want to touch on. We talked about it at the top of the newscast. Yes, we have the humidity in place, which can make it look a little bit more hazy when you look out on the horizon, but we also have agricultural smoke from fires that are burning in Mexico. That's still being lofted into parts of our atmosphere. Take a look at some of these KSAT Connect photos that were sent in yesterday. This one from Taylor McClelland out in the Woodlawn Lake area. Check out that haze. And here's another vantage point from our friend Skywatcher. You can just see it out there on the horizon below that cloud deck. And that has caused some air quality issues. And that's likely going to be what we see again this afternoon. So the worst of it near Corpus Christi and Brownsville. But again, our winds here are out of the south. So it's just lofting more of that smoke into parts of South Texas and the Lone Star State as a whole. So right now, air quality closer to the San Antonio area is in the unhealthy for sensitive respiratory groups range, which essentially means for those with severe asthma could be finding a few issues out there with some of that smoke. So all in all, just this afternoon, yes, it's going to be hot. Yes, it's going to be humid and it's going to be hazy. We should see those conditions improve into this weekend after winds flip in from the north following tonight's cool front. So we'll talk a little bit more about that and all those details coming up in just a bit, guys.
U.S. lawmakers plan to introduce a bill that would limit the amount of heavy metals found in baby food. It would be accomplished through stronger regulation and enforcement by the Food and Drug Administration. Multiple reports in recent years have detailed concerning levels of the contaminants in food made for babies and toddlers. The FDA says they only have limits on 2 baby foods, and that's infant rice cereal and juice. This bill would expand that, limiting toxic heavy metals found in baby food more broadly. It would also set standards for testing of the final food products.
And as if we don't have enough to worry about, now we ask, could your car seat be making you sick? A new study suggesting flame retardants in car seat foam may be increasing your exposure to chemicals that could cause cancer. Researchers tested the air samples from inside the cabins of cars for model years between 2015 and 2022. And in addition to finding potential carcinogens in the air, they also found the chemical levels were higher in the summertime. That's because the warmer temperatures increase the amount of chemicals that are being released from the seat foam into your air that you're breathing. The researchers in this study suggest the government stop the use of flame retardants in car manufacturing.
The U.S. Treasury Department partnering with Wall Street to defend banks against hackers. The alliance, dubbed Project Fortress, includes protective measures such as what's being called a cyber hygiene tool. Banks can opt into this free feature, which will automatically scan their systems for vulnerabilities. The project also features an information sharing part to better detect online threats. Besides defending against hackers, there are also offensive actions being taken to deter them from even going after U.S. financial institutions. A U.S. official says Project Fortress has been in the works for months and is being rolled out in stages.
Russia ramping up attacks as Ukraine waits for U.S. aid to get there. This week, Russia unleashing a massive missile and drone attack upon the Ukraine citizens. That reportedly involved firing more than 50 missiles and 20 drones, and that targeted energy infrastructure around the country. Ukraine's largest power company said this is the 5th time that Russia has attacked its facilities in the last 6 weeks. And it comes as U.S. officials said that there will be a lag time between the approval of the funds last month and when the majority of the assistance finally gets to that country. Officials close to the matter say they believe Russia sees the delay as, quote, a window of opportunity, end quote, to expand their attacks.
Back here in New York, Stormy Daniels back on the witness stand in the Donald Trump hush money trial as the defense tries to undermine the credibility of the adult film star's salacious testimony about their alleged sexual encounter and the money she was paid to keep quiet. Defense lawyers questioning Daniels, whose account is key to the prosecutor's case, accusing Trump of scheming to illegally influence the 2016 presidential campaign by suppressing unflattering stories about him. Trump continues to deny any affair with Daniels. Deadly storms ravaging the central and southeast parts of the country. 3 people killed with trees falling on cars and homes. You can see there. ABC's Perry Russin today tells us that millions of Americans are facing more severe weather.
Powerful wind and rain stretching through the central and southeast parts of the country. Homes shredded. This van tossed to the side of the road.
Oh my gosh, John.
In Tennessee, this couple watching an apparent tornado from inside their car. At least 2 people killed in the state. This barn flattened.
Out here, I feel like the community is so strong, like neighbors help each other.
In Clarksville, hail the size of golf balls outside this fire station. In Alabama, a possible tornado in Madison County. Branches covering roads. Power lines bringing down street signs in Gaston County, North Carolina. Trees on top of homes. 1 person killed when a tree fell on their car.
As the storm has passed, we urge the citizens and residents to remain cautious while assessing any potential damage and to prioritize safety.
Today, more storms are expected from Texas to South Carolina. Damaging wind, very large hail, and tornadoes are possible. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Live cam. Sunshine, some clouds, and some humidity. Already 90 degrees. Oh, man, I didn't see that.
I was going to go do a little exercise outside this afternoon, but look, I got an excuse not to.
Or maybe you're just inside today.
Do you remember, like I don't know, like back in March, and we were telling people to go out and enjoy your lunch out on the patio?
This is why.
Yep. Yeah, we warned you. Had your chance.
A little taste of what's to come in the months ahead. So yes, it is going to be a very hot and humid afternoon. 76, by the way, was our low temperature this morning. That is 12 degrees above average because of all of that humidity. We're officially at 87 right now over at the airport, already above average, and with highs headed for the mid-90s in San Antonio. We're going to be close to our record high for today of 97 that was set back in 1967. So we'll be keeping tabs on that over the next couple of hours, but we do have a relief when it comes to some of those temperatures into the weekend. We're going to time it all out coming up.
Even sitting inside, this is when your glass of iced tea or soda or whatever, just sweating and you puddle all over your desk or whatever table.
I just don't like the suggestion that Mia made that I should exercise inside. I thought I had a hall pass.
Sorry, I know. It's definitely a treadmill inside kind of afternoon.
Treadmill day.
You got me.
Sometimes we got to do what we got to do, right? Yes, because it is going to be very warm out there this afternoon. Again, high temperatures headed for the mid-90s, but with the humidity in place, feels like temperatures are likely going to approach, if not climb into the triple digits over the next couple of hours. Tonight, though, a cool front is going to move in, so that's going to send additional changes in as we look ahead to the upcoming Mother's Day weekend. Cannot completely rule out an isolated storm before that front gets here this evening. If that is the case, it could become strong to severe. And then this weekend, we've got that cooler and slightly drier air pushing in the wake of that front. And we do need to talk about a rain chance as we head into Mother's Day on Sunday. It's not going to be a washout, but a few showers to a couple of isolated thunderstorms certainly possible. Here's the current situation across the area. You can see where we do still have some lingering clouds across our eastern counties. It's 87, though, despite some of that cloud cover in Gonzales, nearing 90 in Kennedy. Take a look out west, closer to the Rio Grande, where we already have plenty of sunshine in place. 93 already in Del Rio. 91, the current lunchtime temperature in Carrizo Springs. Here in San Antonio, high temperatures are headed for the mid-90s by about 4 to 5 o'clock. 94 degrees, the forecast high. Partly cloudy, and then this evening, that's when we'll need to monitor for an isolated storm. If it can develop ahead of that approaching front, temperatures gradually falling through the 80s. Notice into Friday, a little bit cooler by about 10 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Pretty seasonable, actually. Our average high 85. And then Saturday and into Mother's Day itself, how about that? Highs near about 80 degrees, so not too bad. Here's where that front is again. It's well off to our north, already some severe weather near the Red River. Take a look behind that boundary, though. It's currently 72. in Amarillo, where we have those winds in from the north and slightly cooler air ushering behind it. If you think that's cooler, though, check out the Rockies. 42 right now in Casper, Wyoming. It's 49 in Denver. We are not going to get anywhere near that chilly, unfortunately, here in south central Texas, but we will be monitoring for a break in temperatures this weekend. Again, it is possible as we start to see that front move in from the north later on this evening, 7, 8, 9 p.m. We will monitor for the potential. Again, it is the exception rather than the rule, and coverage will be low, but if we can find an isolated storm to develop ahead of that front, it could sit on the strong to severe side. Plenty of instability in the atmosphere to work with. If that is the case, again, some hail as well as strong winds would be the concern that we'll watch for there. Mostly cloudy again as we head into your Friday, a 20% potential for an isolated shower or two. Saturday, a 30% chance for a few sprinkles to a couple of showers. And then on Sunday, we've got that 40% potential. So just keep the umbrella handy. It's not going to be a washout. Don't cancel your plans, but it is something that we'll be keeping tabs on there for you. We definitely could use any rain that we could get. This is the latest drought monitor update that actually was released this morning. Unfortunately, not a lot of change. We saw slight changes in Frio County near Pearsall. Some of that moderate drought was clipped out of the eastern half of the county. But that's it. We still do have extreme drought in place across the hill country, severe drought down Highway 90 and out west closer to the Rio Grande. So we'll monitor that over the next several days. Again, welcome temperature changes by Saturday, Sunday, and even tomorrow as well. Warming back up next week with just isolated chances for a few storms there too. We'll be right back.
May is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
San Antonio, did you know, is home to roughly 45,000 people who identify as Asian.
So this weekend, the community is invited to share some of their culture, food, and art during the San Antonio Asian Festival. Patty Santos tells us what it means to a female athlete to pass on that culture.
Alpha Adams. I'm from Taiwan.
Alva Adams has been practicing the martial art of Korea, Taekwondo, since she was 13 years old.
Taekwondo is art, and it's very important.
An art that focuses the mind, body, and self. It can also be competitive. This passion has taken her across 20 countries to compete and referee. Most recently, she won gold in a competition in Brazil. In 1988, she took bronze in the South Korea Summer Olympics. Now, she's passing on the techniques she's mastered.
I think it's very important not only pass on the Asian culture, but also pass on the arts so that we allow the youth group who are interested and have Olympic dreams that they want to be top athletes.
Adams has called San Antonio home for 30 years. She's the chair of the San Antonio Asian Festival and says it's a way for the Asian community to stay connected in their new homes.
It's very important that we don't lose our identities, and that's why the diversity and inclusion is very important for me and for many the groups that I involved. So to be able to have an Asian Research Center here in San Antonio, and I think it's very important, and also make a statement, hey, San Antonio is very embraced of multicultural.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
And just one more note, beyond San Antonio, Alva is also a big part in elevating the combat Taekwondo movement for top athletes around the world.
Here's the info for the San Antonio Asian Festival this weekend. It's going to be Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at La Villita. The admission is $15 per person. Kids under 12 get in free. There will be some performances, cultural performances, and really good food. And it all benefits the Asian Resource Center of San Antonio.
Apparently, there is a very creative chef on the show who does all kinds of fun stuff with mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's coming up on SA Live. Yeah, you guys take it away.
Right there. Oh, we have some too.
We sure do. Hold on. Okay, yes. Is that delicious, you guys?
We're going to join you. This is Satisfried.
I am so satisfied.
Chef Ryan, what makes this mac and cheese different?
Our mac and cheese has 4 cheeses every time, and you can have it your way with fried chicken, pulled pork, braised beef, blackened shrimp. Be a healthy fat kid, please, and thank you.
We're going to have more from the Satisfied food truck in a bit. But comedian Chona E is here.
I think you're getting some mac.
Oh, yes, give me that.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You know, mac and cheese is just a classic. It's been making elbows jealous since the beginning of time. Cheers, everybody.
right, she's got Funny Mama's Comedy Jam happening this weekend, right? I think you have a deal.
Yes, we do. Come back and find out.
All right. Enjoy your mac and cheese.
Yeah, mouthful. And with Mother's Day coming up this weekend, we have some great Mother's Day gifts ideas for you from local shops with Elsa Fernandez from Eye Candy Boutique. And how about Mother's Day brunch?
Okay, what are we looking at here?
Oh, look at that. Yes. Do you like beignets? Yes. Do you like French toast? Yes. How about you put them together? Boom. That's that. That's that right there.
Oh, and $5 margaritas. We're going to tell you how you can win a free gift card to this place. Cover 3. I'm so excited. I'm hungry.
$5 frozen margaritas and a chance to win a gift card. We're in. All that and more when SA Live continues in a few minutes.